Well, welcome, Happiest Hour audience. Thank you so much for coming here again today. It feels like it's been a long week. It's getting to be a long week. I've tried doing something this week I want to share with you guys. I would love to have your thoughts in the comments here about this. But before I even get into that, I gotta say welcome to the Happiest Hour. We're here 6:30 Eastern, 5:30 Central, 3:30 Pacific, and 11:30 GMT. Tuesday through Thursday. I feel like we might do Fridays. We might continue doing Fridays, but Friday, huge drop off in viewership during the summertime in this para-COVID pandemic. I feel like the Tuesday through Thursday, most people are just like, fuck it. I don't want to do anything. I don't mind watching you guys. And we know because of our great listener and viewership. We've got Max Hill, who's joined us. We've got, of course, Andrew Lawson, greatest super fan ever. Rachel Rosina, who's always dropping in the comments. So lovely, Rachel. Post some photos of yourself. It was just her birthday, by the way, everybody. She's moving up in the world, getting that managership. And Pete Weishaupt is always tuning in and sharing with us. You guys are the best. We need to get, we'll talk about this when I bring Lance on here in a second, but we need to get you guys some like t-shirts or something. There's got to be a Happiest Hour. We could have the decal. Maybe post your thoughts when you know about this, but we could have this decal that you see in the bottom left corner of your screen, or pardon me, bottom right corner of your screen, bottom left corner of my screen. We can maybe put that on a t-shirt or something like that. That would be pretty cool to hear your thoughts on that. I've been fasting. I've been trying intermittent fasting lately. Because I've got this stash and I'm trying to look like a 70s porn star, so I got to get cut like a 70s porn star, and that means not a lot of corn syrup. And I'm trying to cut out the food for like 16 hours a day, and and now I can't wake up in the morning. I don't eat breakfast. I start eating at like 1 p.m. and then I eat from like 1 p.m. to like 9 p.m. And it's just weird. If you guys have ever tried this, I can't wake up in the morning. I want to know your thoughts on this. I just recently tried to talk on the other podcast I do about this, The Madness Continues, with some fitness people. And they're like, yeah, intermittent fasting's terrible. Don't do it. So here I am. Anyway, joining me is the least intermittent person I know. Of course, co-host of this show, Lancey Joe.
Hi.
What's going on, Lancey?
Hi, Brendan. How are you?
I'm hungry, dude. Did you not hear me doing that whole rant about intermittent fasting? It's like the crazy. Have you tried that? Have you done anything like that?
I have accidentally done that many times. I get that from my dad. It's like, Dad, what's wrong? I don't feel well. When was the last time you ate? It's been a few days.
A couple days ago.
That's why my dad looks so ripped and cut, because he just forgets to eat. That's nature's. A bad memory is nature's intermittent fasting.
Depression. That's nature's intermittent fasting.
Yeah,
like, that's the best. I never lost more weight than when my girlfriend broke up with me in college. That was like, it was terrible on my psyche, wonderful on my body.
I don't see how you do anything with those mittens on, is my question.
What? These mittens? These mittens?
Intermittent fasting.
Intermittent fasting. I got you, buddy.
Some of these people are used to my scholarship style jokes. Scholarship dad jokes.
Well, I don't know. Are you in first class, second class, or steerage on that scholarship? Lancey, you were one of the fittest. Well, you were in good shape when I met you in Chicago 5 years ago. I always thought you were in pretty good shape. You said we had a talk a while ago. You said you did CrossFit back in the day, even.
I did CrossFit for a year, and I don't know. You've probably thought about this before. Let's get into this. Let's get into some deep philosophy right now on the Happiest Hour here.
Here we
go. We'll make this like a real happy hour where we're sitting at a bar and we're trying to discuss life's mysteries.
We're talking about Immanuel Kant and Plato.
Yes.
You're talking about Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen.
Yeah. Yeah. So here's the question. Okay, you've done CrossFit for a few years, off and on. You've done it for a while, right?
Yep.
Um, and I did it for a year, and I really feel like that when after that year, I felt like I could do anything, physically or mentally. Like I felt like it prepared me for like challenges of the world, not only just physically, but also like my mental state was better.
Yeah.
But don't you think that there's a point where you get to where you're kind of like you get this dumb jock persona, where like you're not thinking about anything except getting fit? Do you think that comes from like carbohydrates because your brain runs off that, or what? Because if you're just sitting there taking in protein, working out all the time, then you're bound to run into like not thinking about anything.
You're
except
just doing
for
the
getting back to
teen. You're just doing
Yes.
the teen. I was on the teen for a while. The TEIN. I mean, look at this shit. I got this all right here. Hold on, let me show you guys. Let me show you all this. First of all, we got the teen. We got the muscle milk. Happiest Hour today brought to you by Muscle Milk. Let me show you how disgusting I have very few vices. Like I don't like do blow. I'm not like there's a whole lot of comics that if you hang out with them in the green room, you're gonna end up, they're gonna be like, yo man, you want to bump this yayo? I'm not like that. I'm more like, hey man, line up some of the teen and I'll hit that line as much as possible. I can hit it if there's a way for me to get 30 grams of protein in my stomach, buddy. Hold on, but that's not it. This is all of you audience members are gonna think less of me. Here we go. Every morning and evening, bam, pumpkin seed oil.
Holy shit.
Yeah. Holy shit.
What does that do?
That's from Brian Rowe, actually.
What does pumpkin
Brian
seed
Rowe
oil?
is the one who taught
What does that
me.
do?
Because you take it in the morning, you take it in the evening, and it's supposed to prevent your hair loss. So like, I'm like way into pumpkin seed oil, and it's not. It gets even worse, Lancey. Hold on, we're not even starting to get in here. I got glutamine caps. I got vitamin D3. By the way, you guys need to be taking this shit to prevent that coronavirus from messing with you. It's a really strong correlation between a lack of vitamin D and how affected you are by the coronavirus. Not only that, ZMA pills. Here we go. Zinc, magnesium, and aspartate. Look at Lancey's face as I'm going through this. Lancey's like, what? This is the moment Lancey realizes he's like, oh, my friend is actually crazy. Like, we all joke around about Lemon being a weirdo, but then he's got a whole thing of, you know what I mean, micronized creatine on his counter that he's hitting. And you want to really jump off the deep end? Here we go, buddy. You ready?
Oh my god.
You name it, I've got it. Turmeric, vitamin E, Panax ginseng, cayenne pepper, more Korean ginseng, polycosanol, papaya blend, L-arginine, apple cider vinegar.
Damn. The GNC
know,
the GNC advertising works on you.
It's that ordered together button, bundled together button on Amazon. Where they're like,
Is that what gets
commonly purchased together? I'm like, hey, fuck it, give me all three.
Yeah. I got to find out what happens if I take in some L-theanine or whatever.
Theanine. Yeah, I knew where you were going with it. It's mad. Yeah, I mean, no wonder my podcast is called The Madness Continues, because it's just like, I'll just constantly, and that doesn't even count some of the shit that's in like the kitchen. I've got like a bag of athletic greens. I have Onnit's total primate care or whatever. Like, it's nuts.
Total primate care.
The amount of money I've spent in my life on supplements, Lancey, I could have just bought the Whole Foods and not had to buy this. I wouldn't have supplemented anything. I could have just bought the regular thing.
What? You could have bought a Whole Foods by now? You know how much that costs? Gotta be Jeff Bezos to buy the Whole Foods.
Jefe Bezoso? El
You have
Jefe
that?
Bezoso.
That's a vitamin you got in there. Hefe bezoso.
Hefe bezoso.
120 milligrams.
You don't take any, but you don't take any. You don't take any like supplements, do you?
I take
you don't even drink coffee, really.
Not really. I will drink coffee. I enjoy coffee, but I take a multivitamin and my daily placebo of ginkgo biloba.
You still have that? You still got that around? Is that still sponsoring the Happiest Hour?
Yeah, I can see it from here, but I can't get it from here. So it's brought to you by Starbucks tea, by the way. That's my drug of choice is tea. It's my British roots.
So there's one rule on Reddit r/t. You know Reddit, right? Are you on Reddit?
No, I'm not.
Wow, what a fucking loser. No. I'm just Reddit's like such a fun, it's like a miniature, like there's all kinds of like tiny, do you know what it is? It's like a social networking site based around subject matter.
Well, what I have been saying, I'm glad you brought Reddit up because I have been saying that, you know what I need in my life is a few more distractions. There's not enough distractions right now. I'm having all of these whole thoughts come out, and I need those to be fractioned off. If I could intermittently think, that would be good.
If I could have something interrupt me at any given moment.
Yes. If I could be addicted to something else online, that would be perfect. My problem is there's just not enough content. There's not enough content online. So I need, I can't even stand my own content, much less somebody else, some incels content on Reddit.
Oh my God. They're all incels on Reddit, man. And I should know. So anyway, on r/t, on the subreddit for tea, there's only one rule, and that's that you cannot talk about whether or not tea is healthy. The debate is over. They've decided they cannot ask a question. They can't talk about it.
r/TEA? Is that what it is?
r/TEA.
Okay. That's like Reddit. So you can't talk about whether tea is healthy or not. They think that the jury's done with that. It is healthy.
Yeah. It's like Fight Club. Like the number one rule is you can't talk about tea. And the second rule is that you can't talk about tea.
That was kind of an unspoken rule of Fight Club, too, is that you didn't really talk about the health benefits of tea when you're fist fighting your coworkers in an alley somewhere.
Come on, man. That movie had such a profound effect on me. Did you watch that movie?
Yes. That's what got me in the soap industry.
That's what started you out as a soap magnate?
Yeah.
If you took away from Fight Club that soap was important, I don't know if you got the right message from that movie.
Right. I've been told before, what's the other guy in there? Not Brad Pitt, but the main character?
Edward Norton? Jack?
Edward Norton. I've been told I look like him before, so I immediately scroungel. You know, when you that's the most vanity. That's the most narcissistic anyone ever is. If you say that you look like somebody, guess what? You're going and you're taking in that media.
I was just so sad because I was about to be like, I've been told I look like Edward Norton from time to time.
Have you?
I think if you're a white man, you just at some point in your life you get told you look like Edward Norton.
It's a racial thing.
That's when people say all white people look alike. That's who they're picturing. It's just Edward Norton.
Edward Norton. Well, when I shaved my head,
what did he look
really
like, officer? Yeah, what did he look like, officer? He was vaguely between 5'10" and 6'2", and 175 pounds, white face.
Right. I think that that's why I got to be careful with that haircut, because if my hair gets too short, I look like American History X. And which is fine. Like the hair will grow back, but this tattoo is here forever.
Yeah, pretty bad, man. I didn't really like American History X as much as I liked its a porn parody, American History Triple X, which was it was really great. It was a lot of it was a riveting, if I'm honest with you. It was a riveting, thrilling narrative about a guy who goes to prison, but then he gets fucked by every huge black dick in the prison. It was great. It was a wonderful narrative of racial reconciliation. And actually should have won the Oscar that year, if I'm honest. Instead, it went to Green Book, which was a terrible film. Speaking of Green Book, let's get Corey Wood on here. Oh, my God, man.
That's pretty good. Let's get another Southerner in this. Let's water Brendan down a little bit with some Southern viewpoints.
This is true, man. I'm a loose cannon on this episode. Really, on every episode, I'm my biggest liability, pretty much across the board. This guy, here we go. Are we gonna get him on here? Hey!
There he is.
All right, I'm on, right?
Yeah, you're on, buddy.
Are y'all still talking about fucking vitamins?
Yeah, I was trying to talk about what I was going to send you to try to keep you alive down there in Texas.
Oh, Jesus. To be fair, I don't think I'm actually going to die, but I'm for sure going to get coronavirus. And I don't know what it was. As soon as coronavirus hit, I was like, you know what I haven't done in a year and a half, but should start right now? Smoke. And so, like really, I'd done like a year and a half without smoking. And then coronavirus hit, and I was like, I need a pack. And I've just been smoking every day since then. So I might die. There's a chance I die from coronavirus, and that's going to be a bummer.
Ah, buddy.
You can't win unless you gamble. You can't win unless you gamble, Corey. You got to take some gambles in life.
I just want to be the guy who's like in the hospital bed, and I'm like, give me a cigarette. And they're like, it will kill you. And I do it anyway. Like, go out real stupid. I want to go out a fucking legend. As I down my Red's apple ale.
Yeah, as he says as he slams his Red's apple ale.
Man, I don't win anymore.
I looked.
Antonio Aguilar says, "Try the patch, Corey."
I know how to quit smoking. Like, I mean, that's so dumb.
You're talking about smoking. I thought he was talking about a patch for Red's apple ale.
I would buy that patch. I drink so much Red's apple. I thought about this the other day because I was like thinking like, when you have those thoughts, like what would it mean to make it? And I was thinking like, oh man, if I got sponsored by Reds and they sent me like 36 Reds every month, I'd be pretty good.
Fuck it, dude. Just go get their brand sponsorship right now. You know what I mean? You're probably the manliest sponsor they could get at this point.
It's like, yeah, that guy's got a beard, right? I would love to be in. Do you remember they used to have these really dumb commercials where someone would be drinking like a regular beer and they'd be like, ugh, gross. And then someone would hit them with an apple.
All of this, we talked about this before, that like all of this, it's so funny because like you came out, this is like years ago, me and you and Lindsay Lucido and fucking Pat McManus all went on like this one show in West Michigan in like my parents' hometown, and you bought like a big thing of Red's Apple Ale. To this day, it's still it was like 4 years ago, it's still at their house. Like that's how nobody drinks this shit, except Corey Wood loves it. And it went through this whole period of time where, like, all these cider companies were making, like, it's not cider, it's beer, except it's apple beer, and it's manly. And they had all these names like Smith and Forge, and the Hammer and the Anvil, and Red's Apple Ale. And, like, it would just be some guy who it'd just be like, drink it, you fucking pussy. It's apples. And you're like, you're not fooling anybody.
Yeah, that's where they're fucking up, is they're trying to show this manly man and being like, it's a manly drink. They need to lean into it and be like, look, it's not manly, but it tastes fucking great.
Yeah, like, right? Like, it's because otherwise it comes off like a kid put his dad's like like a fireman hat on or something, and you're like, I'm a tough guy too. Like that's how it's. You're not fooling anybody.
I think I'd be a good spokesperson for them, being like, I'm kind of manly, but I cry a lot, and that's why I drink Red's Apple Ale. Like,
Red's
I'm
Apple Ale.
Man.
Because even the toughest men can cry.
Exactly. That would be a great
tagline. Oh my God, dude.
Did I ever tell you the story about why I started drinking whiskey?
No.
So Red's Apple Ale's always been my shit. If I can't get that, it's Angry Orchard, and they're not manly drinks. And in college, I was dating this girl who was probably like 5'1" and weighed like 100 pounds. Like she looked like she was just like this tiny, like cute little girl. She was a woman. She was an adult woman, but she just looked like this. Like
it's so weird though. On our first date, Chris Hansen was there waiting for me. Like I didn't understand. Oh, is this your dad?
He's like, are all those Red's Apple Ales for you?
Well, see, that's the thing is this cute little woman drank straight whiskey. And so, like, I would always have to go to the bar, and I usually paid for her drinks. Like, my parents raised me right. And so I'd go to the bar, and I'd be like, can I get a Red's Apple Ale and a whiskey? And they would always give me the whiskey and her the Red's Apple Ale, and we'd have to switch. And then one day we switched, and the bartender just bust out laughing, and I was like, fuck that, I'm drinking whiskey from now on. And I made myself like whiskey. Like, I wrote out a plan to like whiskey where it's like, okay, well, first day you're just going to take a half shot of whiskey. Like, by the end of this month, you'll be drinking 2 shots of whiskey a day.
Jesus Christ.
I'm
one
so
at breakfast, the other at breakfast.
Wow,
You had a
that's
plan.
like first degree.
You planned. Sorry, Lance. What'd you say?
It's like first degree alcoholism. I've never seen such like dedicatedness.
I love that you had a plan. Yeah, like you had like a.
See, I'm really good at like it seems
Other people
like
fall into a hole. Corey Wood buries himself.
I'm good at, like, it seems like nothing bothers me, and, like, I'll be like, yeah, I do drink women drinks, and then I'll go home and I'll be like, no more. And
Give yourself a stern talking to.
yeah, it's bad. I gotta just start letting things bother me, because what I do is I bottle it up, and then I, like, have, like, a freak out. Like, every 3 months I have a freak out.
Yeah. That's the manly thing to do.
Yeah, where do you think? Why do you think we're comedians? It's not because we can work this stuff out in our regular life. Like, I have to have between 4 and 10 minutes on stage so that I can work out this extreme anger and anxiety.
Right.
You know what my, like, dream is with comedy right now? It's not even like make enough money for comedy. It's my dream is I'm like, dude, I will have made it as a comedian if I can go up and go, can I do 20 bad minutes? And, like, go on stage and just be like, I'm sad, guys. And, like, no joke. Just 20 minutes of being like, I'm real sad. It's bad.
That's the freedom we all need, really, as men. As men, we need that. As a male, I need someone to listen to me, no matter if it's funny or not.
I'm tired of having to be entertaining to get my feelings respected.
I do think comedy is a good, like, emotional outlet for men, because, like, if we're hanging out and we're men, I can't just be like, guys, I'm sad. Like, it's gonna get weird. But I can go on stage.
No, we probably
and
start laughing.
I killed myself. And then, like, if someone's like, hey, are you okay? I'm like, dude, it was a joke. I'm fine. I'm never sad.
Right.
Whatever. Now let me go take my scheduled 2 shots of whiskey.
No, my watch beeps and I go, oh, it's 6:30. Got to go take a shot of whiskey.
Oh, by the way, I love this. Antonio Aguilar commented, find someone who looks at you Like Corey looks at a bottle of Reds. You mean it's a means to take his pain away, Antonio? I don't know if I ever want to be in a relationship like that.
That's the only relationship I want to be in. I want just someone I can save. All right, I got a real Jesus complex.
Uh-oh.
Bless you.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Pollen
man,
count is
can't
up
have-
in Chicago.
You gotta watch
My-
out. Can't get the Rona.
Well, what city are you actually in, Corey?
I'm in Lubbock, Texas right now, and forever, it seems like.
I glanced at, I can't remember when it was we talked last, but I glanced at a map of Texas, and I didn't realize that Roswell, New Mexico is fairly close to there. Have you ever seen anything weird?
Probably not, but when I was like 11, me and my friend were... No, I wasn't 11. I wish I was 11. When I was like 16, me and my friend were pretty sure we saw UFOs. And
Oh, really?
we were playing basketball late at night. And I ran home and I was like, Mom, we saw UFOs. And she was just like, no, you didn't. Go to bed. And I was like, okay. And that was the last time I thought about it.
Do you remember actually seeing it, or you just remember like faking about it?
I definitely remember there was something strange in the sky. But like, it definitely wasn't like a clear spaceship. It's not like it came down and I saw a little kid get sucked up, but it was like something was weird in the sky. And I remember I was genuinely scared. Like, it wasn't me being like, this is so cool. And it was like,
it was some weird, scary object that was in the night sky. Did you guys watch Unsolved Mysteries on Netflix? Did you guys watch that? That just came out?
I haven't watched that yet.
Oh my god.
It's still the old episodes, right? They're from the 90s or whatever.
No. It's new. It's like a whole new like season that they did.
Oh.
And the narrator's gone, unfortunately, because that dude was one of the best parts of the show. But
Do they know what happened to him?
It's actually episode 1 of the new season.
he disappeared without
Where
a
did he
trace.
go?
If you have any information leading to the apprehension of the former host of Unsolved Mysteries, contact us at. One of the episodes is about how I was just talking to my dad about this because he needs to get Netflix because he would love this. That in 1968 or something, there was like a bunch of different alien abductions that all took place in Western Connecticut within the same like 20-mile radius, and they all took place in the same summer in a very similar period of time, and different events were witnessed by multiple people with different perspectives who did not know each other, who only weeks and sometimes years later found out that what they witnessed happened to this other person who they just met, and that they remember seeing it, but the two of them had never met until like years later. And it was one of the creepiest. I watched that show and I was like, well, now I'm never going to sleep again. Like, it was so freaking creepy.
That original episode, when I was a kid, I would watch that and not be able to sleep for a long time.
What's the original one?
It's the same thing the 90s episodes with that original guy.
Oh yeah,
on it.
Yeah. It's creepy, man. Like, do you guys think aliens are real? And do you think they visited Earth?
I think aliens are real. I don't think they visited Earth.
I think they're real. And they run the government, and they're shape-shifting lizards. I mean, but who doesn't believe that?
I would love if something like that came. Like if Donald Trump just got on screen.
It would be mad pandemonium.
It could be QAnon says it's real, man. Like, it could be the QAnon conspiracy could just be that it's all just lizard people, and David Icke is right. Are you typing this in right now? Lancey's looking up lizard people, U.S. government.
No, I'm not typing.
Who's typing?
So it's coming from within the house.
What are you looking up, Corey?
Yeah, this is hilarious.
No, for a second, one, it's a little creepy, but I think my internet fucked up, and y'all were talking about aliens, and all of a sudden y'all were like,
oh, they
and I was
found
like,
out.
God, that would maybe your podcast would get more listeners if that happened. Or what is this? Is this a podcast?
That's a live stream. Whatever.
Live stream. If someone got alien abducted on here, you'd be famous tomorrow.
Dude, that would be great. I would be really stoked about that if that happened. All right, so let's keep talking about creepy shit though. Do you believe in like the Mothman or like Bigfoot or like any of these other things? There's this channel on YouTube. It's called Bedtime Stories, okay? And it's just a channel of creepy ass stories told to you by this guy with an English accent, and then like pictures drawn in black and white by someone who clearly has mental issues. And it's one of the creepiest things I've ever fucking seen. And I became like obsessed with it. And I've been able to watch every episode. And they go through everything. They go through like Bigfoot. They go through like different like aliens, ghosts, like unsolved murders, all this stuff. But the one episode that I could not finish because it was too creepy is about shadow people. And I've never heard this before. But it was like shadow people they were like, this guy with the English accent's like, they blink in and out of life too quickly to really be seen. You could be watching a YouTube video one moment in your room alone, then suddenly you're surrounded by dark beings who fade away in existence as soon as they have showed up. And I was like, oh, fuck that. I'm not like watching this. Like, I'm never going to sleep again.
See, I'm like in the daytime, like I am someone who's like Bigfoot's not real, ghosts aren't real, like all this weird shit isn't real. But like the lights are out, I'm by myself, and I hear a weird, creepy noise, I'm done. Like, and it's, oh jeez, I gotta tell you, my electricity went out 2 nights ago, and I was like laying awake. And has anyone seen Black Lightning?
What? No.
Black Lightning. It's a superhero show.
Oh, a show. Okay. I thought it was like a phenomenon.
No, it sounds like a cool ass phenomenon. But basically the superhero is this dude, when he's about to kick someone's ass, he just like takes all the electricity from the place and it blacks out and then he whoops some ass. And so I was watching this.
Great.
And then all my electricity shut off. And I was drunk. I was like pretty drunk at this point. It was like 11:30 at night. And
it was after my schedule though.
And I got scared. And then someone started shining a flashlight through my window. And like,
what?
I later learned it was my neighbor, like trying to see if I had electricity. But in my head, I was like, someone shut all the electricity off so they could come in here and kill me. And so I'm drunk and I'm in Texas now. So I go to my bathroom where I hide my guns, and I'm just lying in the bathtub, like with my gun, just waiting to shoot some
shit.
This is 2 nights ago.
2 nights ago, just like laying in the bathroom with like a gun, which like look at me. I don't need to have a gun. And I definitely don't need to have a gun while drunk. But I was ready to shoot somebody because I thought Black Lightning was coming for me. I lived in there for like 20 minutes until I'm like, okay, if they would have killed me, they would have killed me by now. And then I still came out like James Bond style, like going around corners and shit. And then I went outside and I was talking to my neighbors and I was like scared the shit. And they're like, yeah, we're just trying to see if you had electricity. I was like, oh, okay.
You know, by creeping
Did you still
around
have the
your
gun
windows.
out?
Yeah.
No, I put my gun up. I was like, I'd accepted my fate at that point.
I feel like having a gun out in Texas when you greet somebody is probably pretty normal, though.
Yeah. You usually don't point it at them, but you just show them. You know.
How you doing, buddy? I'm carrying.
I had a friend from like high school who made a video about face mask and how we shouldn't be wearing masks, and like the whole video was just them like, it was them like, so their camera was like this, and they're like, and they're wearing a face mask, and they're like, does this make you feel safe? And then they'd go, and they had a gun right here, and they're like, does this make you feel safe? What about if I'm wearing this and holding this, and I'm wearing this and I'm holding this? Also, this person was a woman. This was
Does this make you feel safe?
And it was
nothing you're doing is making me feel safe right now.
It was so weird because, like, I was like, I don't get your point. And have you seen people post or make things on Facebook, and you're like, oh, you're trying to go viral? Like, you are like, it seemed like.
Yeah, what do you think I'm constantly posting on Facebook for?
Well, you're not following the formula at all. You gotta. There's a viral formula.
Oh, what is the formula then? What is it?
Lots of yelling and bold statements.
Capital letters.
I got the closest I ever went to being viral. I had something like shared 28 times, and I was like, I'm famous. I've made it.
Yeah.
What did you? I feel like your posts have been pretty fire actually lately, especially with this. We talked about this yesterday. You're posting your will online. I was like, what the fuck?
Well, most
Corey.
of my posts have sincerely been about having to go back to teaching, because I really do. And maybe I'll look back on this in 5 years and be like, I was being crazy, but I really feel like we're just sending teachers in to get slaughtered in 2 months. And I sincerely am, like, scared about my health and everything. So the will thing is me trying to be funny about that.
Yeah.
But it is just like. And so the post I made that got a lot of shares was like a serious post being like, here's why teachers are quitting all over. It's because we're treated like shit. And it's true. And, like, this whole pandemic shows it, because it's very easy, just like soldiers, like, everyone's like, we love the troops, we love teachers. And you're like, well, you want to pay $1 more a year to get them a raise? And they're like, no, fuck those guys. Like, I mean, and so that's how it is with teachers. Is like, everyone's like, yeah, teachers are heroes. Teachers are heroes. But if, 10,000 of them die this year, America needs to get back to normal.
Right.
And
It's so weird because even in Texas, there was on the reporting, the group, like, whatever Texas school board group got together to discuss returning to classes this fall. They had to meet on a Zoom meeting. And they were let's meet on a Zoom meeting to talk about how we're going to make teachers and kids get back in classrooms together as this whole state is burning alive from coronavirus.
It's insane. And I'm trying. Here's the thing. I used to be able to just be like, I don't give a shit about anything. I'm going to make jokes about everything. And now, like, the world seems like it's sincerely falling apart. Y'all are frozen.
I've never had it. It's never been like it's weird. This is part of the reason why I think Lance and I decided to do this Happiest Hours, because it's never been like a darker time. Like, I don't think in my whole life, I don't think I've ever been more pessimistic about how, like, everything is going to work out, because I'm like, dude, this whole place is just fucked. Like the fact that the rest of the civilized world is, like, actually kind of doing okay with coronavirus now. And then they're like, oh yeah, if you're American, you are not welcome here. Like, you can't go anywhere now. You can't go to Canada. You can't go. Even Mexico shut its border with America. And we're like, thanks a lot, Don.
Right.
Donnie Trump finally did his job. Mexicans are leaving in record numbers.
This was just his plan all along.
Yeah, the Republicans finally got rid of public health care because 5 million Americans lost it over the last 3 months. I mean, that's madness.
Yeah.
Some of it, though, I think that I think there have been worse times in the world. I mean, we were all alive during 9/11, but the internet wasn't so prevalent. And as soon as it gets in the internet, it's like an echo chamber of misery. We can't do anything without everything being so magnified, and it's not great for mental health and happiness, for sure.
No. And it's not very good for comedy. You know what I mean? The more I've started to care about these things, the way less funnier I've become, for real.
The better person I am, the less funny I am.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. The more my life is mostly fucking up outside of being on stage, pretty much the better I am on stage, if I can really say so.
Yeah, I sometimes actively avoid happiness, like, because I'm like, Like, I'll like start talking to someone and I'll be like, I like this person. I'll be like, and that's how they get you. And then you're not doing stand up. Instead of doing stand up, you're just at home, happy with a family that loves you. No, I'm going to go work 5 minutes about how my dick looks weird in the sunlight.
Oh my God. Yeah, it is. It's like a weird, I love that this is coming from Corey, a guy who schedules his shots and writes his will on Facebook. Like,
Yeah, Corey, you want to go
How many-
drink some shots? I don't know. Do you have Microsoft Outlook?
how many more red flags do we need before we need to come down there and rescue our friend Corey?
You got to be careful. My dad will be down here like tomorrow. That's like, my dad is like so protective that I'm scared to tell him like I'm having a bad day, because he'll just be like, well, when I was in Chicago, I called my dad once just to be like, today sucked. And my dad was like, all right, well, I'll be there at 9:45 in the morning. Don't worry, I'll take the train. You still go to work. And I was like, no. Like, I was just calling to say, like, someone cut me off in traffic, and I was mad.
Yeah.
That's so funny. One time my parents are probably watching, so I don't know if I should even tell the story, but that's kind of the opposite of my parents in a way, because I had a day once in high school that was so bad. I took out my cell phone my senior year and called my mother from the school, and I was like, I got to come home, Mom. I'm just too fucked up. And she was like, people have bad days. Click. Like,
Oh.
I was just, oh my God.
Well, that explains that mustache.
Well, well, I told you the time that I got broken up with. And,
Oh, here we go. I think the aliens got him.
Yeah, that's it. He's being beamed up. Can you hear me clearly right now?
I can hear you. That was just so funny. They're digitizing Corey. Oh my God.
They don't want us to know what he just said.
Yeah, they do not want Corey. They do not. The aliens did not want us to hear that story.
That was like
One time I went out with a girl named Cotlet, ah!
Yeah, internet sucks. I'm sorry. I was supposed to get new internet today, and that did not happen because I'm in quarantine, so no one can come into my house. So.
All right, so hold on. I want to hear the story about you getting broken up with in college or whatever.
Oh, so we're talking about how protective my dad is. In college, I was dating this girl for a long time, and we got broken up with, and she broke up with me. And my dad the next day drove into town and like came into town. Was like, I just wanted to check on you. Are you okay? And I was like, yeah. And he's like, where's your gun? And I was like, over there. And then he took my gun. He's like, I'm taking this with me. And then he just left.
Damn.
Yeah, I don't know how sad he thought I was, but he was just like, all right, I got this. See you later.
Well, at least it sounds like he loves you.
Oh, yeah, he loves me so much.
That's nice.
Corey says as he cracks open another Reds.
And I take a shot of whiskey. I did take a shot before I got on this. Every time I've done this live stream, I've ended up hammered. And so I was just
it's
like,
been really fun, actually. It's been fun. Every time we have you... Dude, Tristan fucking slayed it yesterday. That guy is so funny. Me and you were talking afterwards. It was him and Brian Rowe have I mean, Brian more recently, but Tristan is like... He's so funny, dude. Like, just him talking and just hanging out and just... He's so funny. I wish I could bottle that and drink it and consume his power.
Oh, like, I will, like, be somewhere and, like... If Tristan... I think this has happened. Like, Tristan forgot his wallet and wanted a drink, and I was like, yeah, I'll get you a drink. And he's like, thanks, man. I was like, yeah, just make me a writer on your show. Like,
yeah,
that's certain. Like, if the world is fair, Tristan will make it in comedy. He's so funny. He's such a nice guy. And if Tristan makes it in comedy, I'm trying to build up enough favor to where he feels guilty and brings me along.
The alternate route program.
Somebody's got it. Somebody's always got to ride somebody's coattails.
And I'm good with that. I'm fine with I don't want to be famous. I just want to make $50,000 with comedy. That's all I need. And I'll be
here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thinks how much Red's Apple Ale you could buy with that money. You could buy almost 100,000 Red's Apple Ales.
50 cents a bottle?
They're practically giving that shit away.
These things are expensive. It's bullshit.
Yeah, it's true. That's why I'm making my own. We got to talk about that tomorrow, Lance, if we're going to do the show. If we don't talk about it tomorrow, we'll talk about it on Tuesday. Because I'm making some. I've already got the ginger beer going. Then I've got some cherry apple cider, and I'm about to make some beet and apple cider, beet juice. So this whole thing will be a unique experiment. Corey, please be. We need you around. Please take care of yourself, please.
I mean, it doesn't look like it. I really am taking care of myself. I'm drinking a lot of water. I was going to start intermittent fasting on Monday.
Are you really? What's your plan? Because I started doing that this week.
Yeah. I was watching the beginning of this. I'm going to also do the 16-8 plan, which shouldn't be a big deal for me because I really don't eat all that much. I just drink a lot of calories. So, I think I will be able to I'm going to try to eat between 12 and 8 p.m. and I think the main thing I'm going to have to change is just not drinking soda, not drinking Red's Apple Ale, and I should be good.
I same thing. I'm doing between 1 p.m. I mean, I have one piece of toast in the morning because you saw the mountain of supplements I take. I
was going to say, you're hotter than I am. You're better looking than me. But you're not that much better looking than me compared to what you do.
This takes a lot of work.
Imagine
if you guys only knew how much work this took.
You would be, it's just how ugly would you be if you didn't care? This is me not caring.
You're looking at the Joan Rivers of male comedy. I've worked my ass off at this. Do you think these cute crow's feet happen on accident?
It is fun seeing you are getting older, and so now it's just he's at that age to where the hipster looks a little sad on him, and so.
Why do you think I put this mustache on? Am I a hipster or your dad? That beard was getting that. I mean, that beard was a cry for help at a certain point. And plus, with such a good jawline, how could I possibly continue to hide it under that beard that I had?
That is a good jawline. What supplement does that take? Is that the pumpkin seed oil? And I'm going to get a jawline.
The supplement you have to take is seeing a great mallow oral surgeon.
Okay.
I'm kidding.
Okay.
I'm kidding. I didn't get work done. If I did, I'd already be getting kickbacks from referring Bill Petit. So,
has Petit gotten work done?
No, I'm just goofing around.
Brendan signed a paper that says that he couldn't say anything about that.
By the way, Bill and I have a book coming out next month.
What's it called?
It's called The Power Bible by Brendan Lemon and William Petit III.
Can I just write the foreword? I know it's too late, but I just want to write the foreword and be both of these people are awful. Have you ever tried to explain Bill Petit to someone who doesn't know him?
Oh, yeah. It's one of my favorite things to do, actually.
Because I love being he's... and it's I'll spend 7 minutes being he's kind of a piece of shit. And I'll be but I love him.
He's such a nice guy. Actually. Deep down, he's so nice. Yeah. And it's funny because people get him so wrong. But one of my favorite things to do is to talk. Because if you hang out with Bill, this is what I love. Is you need to go to New York and spend some time with him. Because he's back from France. Yeah, he's back from France. And he's going to be back in New York soon. He was in Houston, and if you just spend some time with him, your stories will be so crazy. Like they'll just when you try to in your life, you'll just be around and you'll start to like telling people about these like crazy stories, and you'll just be like, oh yeah, this craziest thing happened. Like we got into a cab with a midget, and then like Bill invited the midget to hang out with us all night. And like we got into a club because it turns out the midget's actually like he's a rich midget, and he knows like the owner of the club, and like just it's all this shit. And like when you try to explain the stories, people will be like, "What? Who is this person?" You know, like, and they're like, "Okay, let's imagine that I made up a fake billionaire's son, and I described him like he was a Simpsons character, like." It's just the guy. He defies explanation in so many dimensions.
Well, it's just like so weird. He like is this weird thing. So like one of my favorite stories about Bill Petit is I hadn't seen him in months. He'd moved away from Chicago, didn't tell me he was coming back in town, and then I ran into him outside of a restaurant, and like we hugged and everything, and I was like, "Oh man, that's a cool necklace," and he was just like, "Oh yeah, it's a vibrator." And I was like, "What?" And he's like, "It's like a vibrator that you use on like a clit because like women deserve to orgasm." And I was like, "Okay." And then he left.
He was just walking around with a vibrator around his neck.
Just a necklace that was a vibrator, and it's just like. But the thing is, I'm like, that's like a douchey, misogynistic thing to do. But then he is like, women deserve orgasms, and I was like, was that feminist? I don't know.
Oh my god, that's so funny. Oh man. Well, you guys, we should probably hit it. We're running up on time a little bit. Corey Wood, thank you for joining us again, man. This was a lot of fun.
Yeah, this has made my day. Thank you so much.
It's my favorite part of my day, getting on here with Lancey and shooting the shit.
I really am going to pick your brain. I'm going to start doing this once a week. And I think I'm just going to call it the saddest hour, and I'm going to do it when y'all don't do it. Because this is like the couple of times during like this whole fucking thing that I've really enjoyed myself was this podcast or this live stream.
Man, you're so Corey. That's the nicest thing to say.
Y'all are both great people. Like Lancey is just like a genuinely good person, and you are like,
thank you,
a little insane, but like mostly a good person. So
I'm halfway between you or with Lancey and wherever Bill is. That's where I sit.
That's so true. Yeah, that's. All right, guys.
Dude, stay healthy, please, and I'm looking forward. We'll have you on again soon, man. It's really fun to talk to you all the time, Corey.
Okay, I got to do my shot of whiskey anyway. So, all
right,
y'all have a good
Peace.
one.
Bye.
Bye.
Corey Wood. What a good
so
guy.
Nice.
Boy,
yeah.
I'm really a loose cannon on this episode. I don't know how you held it down, Lancey. I'm throwing curveballs at you left and right to try to pick up.
Oh, man. I thought it was great. It was a fun episode.
I mean, it's a good time. It's a good time.
Yeah. We've kept the viewership has been great this episode, so whatever you're doing was right, Brendan.
Apparently, they're picking up when I'm laying down. We got to say some thank yous at this episode before we get going. We got to say thanks to Pete Weishaupt again for tuning in. Hi to Erna Sophia from Iceland. Antonio Aguilar, we got to have you on the show, man. It's been a while since Antonio. I met him at BLT that you were running, and got some really good photos of him that I think he still uses. That guy was out doing comedy a lot, so I'm hoping he's doing okay.
That guy is a killer comedian.
Yeah, he is. He was really. I mean, he was hilarious on stage, man.
Oh yeah.
I gotta give a shout out to my mom who said "love no beard." I think she meant she loves that I don't have a beard, but it sounds like it's coming off like love no beard. She shall love no beard. Thanks, Mom. And then Jess Bradkey, who tuned in. Jess Bradkey. We've had there was a whole bunch of people on here. Doing the watch party was, I think, a good idea. That's kind of a fun way to get people involved. Brian also said, Lancey somehow with the best facial hair. Brian, we got to get you back on this show too, man. That was like one of the funnest points of this show was early in it when Brian Rowe was the we were joking that Brian's brother was the war correspondent. Oh,
yes,
goodness,
that was
man.
so good. That was the one of the few times today and that time were one of the few times where the technical difficulties worked in our favor.
True. Yeah. I love that Corey gets beamed up. We've exposed the truth. The lizard aliens run the world, and Corey's story would have gotten to the core of it. Goodness gracious.
I like
guys,
how Skype is just like, no, we'll let it run. We'll fix it. Just make it real slow. Instead of just connection lost, it's like, is
my friend melting? What is happening?
Yeah. They're like, they'll never notice.
Well, we gotta comment if you're still watching. If you're tuning in, comment about about T-shirts. I would love to know because I think we should get them. Actually, I think we should get them and then show them on the show. Just some like cheap. I mean, I'd say cheap. They won't be cheap, but I mean like just simple T-shirts that just say like the Happiest Hour. I think that would be pretty cool, and then we'll kind of just continue to have them. What do you think, Lance? Should we do a show tomorrow? I feel like the viewership on Fridays is a lot lower because I think people just check out to the weekend during the summertime. So
everybody's working for the weekend these days. That's what I've always thought.
They got a piece of my heart. I think maybe we'll check in. We'll figure this out tomorrow. So just stay tuned, and then
we'll call an audible.
Yeah, we'll if we're not back tomorrow, we'll definitely be back on Tuesday at 6:30 Eastern, 5:30 Central, 3:30 Pacific, and 11:30 GMT. By the way, I saw Pete Weishaupt on the at Lancey Joe on Venmo show. That was pretty cool. He's an interesting fellow.
Yeah, very, very interesting. And for those of you just who need more of the Happiest Hour, I will call Brendan without announcement. I'll just if y'all tune in and comment on my Lancey Joe on Venmo show, I'll set it up. He may not answer, but we'll try to call him.
We'll call him up.
Yeah. He might be knees deep in some champagne yeast, but we'll get him. We'll try to get him on the line.
All right. Peace, brother. Take it easy.
Bye, y'all.
Bye. Bye.